Hi, good evening. It's a lovely evening, and today is Wednesday. Uh, we are live again as Ubuntu channel, and this is the special edition of Ubuntu Sports. And we are building up to the quarterfinals of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. And to do the analysis, the pre-match analysis, I'm not alone. I'm with Augustine joining us live from America. I don't know if I should say good evening or good morning. Augustine, how are you?
Well, very well, thank you. It's a few minutes before noon, maybe about 23 minutes before noon. So it's still good morning on our end. How are you doing? Good evening on your side.
I'm okay. Just waiting for the game. The ladies have made us proud. But Augustine, before we dive into the Zambia versus Senegal game, I want a quick reaction concerning Zambia's qualification to the semi-final in terms of the COSAFA tournament.
I watched the match. First of all, we need to congratulate the team for making it to the semi-finals. We didn't expect anything less than them reaching that stage. If anything, we want them to win the tournament because Zambia's level is beyond winning the COSAFA. So we don't expect anything less than winning the tournament. So we are happy that they made it to the semifinals. Um, of course, we didn't score in that match. There was an on goal against Botswana. Botswana scored, and we went on to win it on penalties. In as much as you win matches on penalties, it was good enough to get us to the next stage. Um, we had four, I think, new players in that team that were featuring for the first time, their first cap. So um, we expect a little bit more organization. The first half, was much better in terms of our play than the second half. We didn't seem as hungry as we needed to be to win the match. But fortunately, we had the guys take their penalties, in a very good and expert way, and that gave us the boost to go on and reach the semifinals. But we need to improve. We must create chances. We must take our chances. I think we still have a lot of work to do ahead of the semifinals. So congratulations to the team. This is what we expect, but we need to make sure that we improve on that performance. It wasn't the best of performances, but the most important thing is that we won the match and in the semifinals.
Can you say that we maybe struggled because Asanovic is not with the team because of the visa issue?
Well, that again is an administrative aspect. I don't think we struggled because he was not there. Of course, the players expected him to be there. The team needs their coach present at every match. You don't expect to leave a coach behind in that manner. That's unacceptable in terms of football administration. But I think the team has yet to gel. That's one thing. The unity, the cohesion is not yet there in the team, and it's a new team. You're trying out different players. You have players who've never played at the national team. You have a few players that have played. You've tried them out, and they're trying to gel. So that could have been a part of the reason why we struggled. Not necessarily that the coach wasn't there, but we expect the coach to be with the team at every given point, unless the structure has changed and you're using a different team and he's concentrating on some other stuff. But he needs to be with the team.
All right, now let's bring it to the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. Zambia has played 3 games. They've won 2, and yeah, they've played 3 games, uh, won 2, and then drawn 1 game. The first game against Cameroon. But overall, how has been the performance of the team for you?
I think the performance of the team has been very impressive. They have accounted for themselves very well. Um, for them to reach the semifinals, the quarterfinals, by topping their group, is very impressive. They went into this tournament, I mean, not ranked, outside ranked team. They were probably one or three in terms of FIFA ranking. Senegal, the team they meet tonight, is ranked, a few steps ahead of them, 89th on the FIFA ranking. So if you look at how they performed against Cameroon, they stood their ground. They snatched a point. Cameroon were favorites in that match. Tunisia too. Were favorites in that match. They won the game. They went on and beat Togo. I think the girls have been very impressive. We need to give them all the kudos they deserve. I personally, expected them to reach the quarterfinals, but not with such an impressive performance. They've been exciting to watch. They are playing some lovely football. Of course, in any given game, you still have to pick your positives. You still have to pick your negatives, and you need to analyze both of them to see how best you can improve in your next game. In terms of finishing, it's been a little bit, it can be better. We had quite a few chances in the game against Togo. It would have been a tennis scoreline, but we didn't finish them as we anticipated. We need to put them away if we have to beat Senegal or if we have to go all the way to the final. But the most important thing is that we are happy they're at this stage, and I believe they're enjoying themselves. And if they're going to enjoy themselves in this game, nothing will hold them back.
Nothing hold them back indeed. Now, did you expect the team to reach the quarterfinals with the absence of the likes of Barbara Banda, Kundananji, Rachel Nachula?
Every team that misses its key players struggles at some point. But the beauty with the way this team has come around, the disadvantage of Barbara's absence, Kundananji's absence, as well as Rachel Nachula's absence, is amazing. I think they've built a unit that relies on the team rather than individual players. That's very key in football. Football is a game of 11 players. It's not played by one person. It's very different from tennis. So if you're going to rely on team spirit, build, your goal on a team, you have more chances of progressing rather than relying on a few players. But I think we would have been more lethal with the presence of Kundananji and Nachula, as well as Barbara. Nonetheless, they haven't been part of the team, but again, they've gone beyond our expectations. I saw them, going up to the quarterfinal, but I didn't, envisage the fact that they were going to top the group and be able to display the kind of football they've displayed. They have outstripped expectations in many respects.
Are you happy now that at least everyone in the country is talking about women's football? It has always been men's football, and now the women's are taking it to another level, and everyone is talking about the women's football. Are you happy now that the women's football has grown in the country?
I mean, it's good to see how women football has evolved. It's been mostly on the fringes of our football, but it's coming into the mainstream, mainstream administration. So I'm in a place where the women's team is more successful than the men's team. So it's nothing, like extraordinary, but it's good to see it happen in our country. It's good to see the women take their stage, and it's good to see them perform the way they're performing. I believe that with their performance they will build on such history, so that they create a base for the other players. They're building a good foundation for the future, and it's something that we need to delight in, because it wasn't what it is now. So I think it's exciting to see.
All right, thank you very much. To our viewers, if you're joining us or watching us for first time, make sure you like the page and subscribe on our YouTube channel, and also follow us on Twitter We are Ubuntu channel, and also don't forget to give us your predictions of the game. We'll be crossing over exactly at 19 hours, uh, and we'll beam the game live on this page. Let's look at the lineup now, Augustine. There's nothing. There are no changes in the lineup. Are you confident with the lineup that has been given to us by the coach?
I think in football we always say you don't change the winning team, and I think the coach has realized that this is a set of players that has given him the result, and he wants to go perhaps in the first 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or 45 minutes with the same unit that has delivered against Senegal. So you have a very good defense. You've got, first of all, the goalkeeper in Hazel in goal, maintaining a place, except for one forgivable error, because such does happen in football. She's been very, very good, astute in goal. She was impressive against Tunisia, put away very impressive saves. You've got the defense. The defense. The partnership of Agnes Msase and Lushomo has been very, very strong. It's only conceded one goal. You've got Martha Tembo on the left, and you've got Margaret Belemo on the right. That unit, in defense has been very strong. There's no need for the coach to change it. They've maintained a very good, backbone to give Hazel very little pressure. Then you see, I think the system also hasn't changed really. He's obviously dropping Grace into midfield a little bit, so that she can have space, to run around and then surprise the opponent. It's probably a 4-3-3 situation that he's deploying, and with Grace, Irene, as well as Susan in midfield, and you throw in I think Mapepa on the left, and you have the main striker who's Ochumba, as well as Abel. So you find that the team is what it is because it has delivered the results. It has not lost a game. It's going into this match with the same attitude, with the same confidence. And I think the coach has done well not to make, unless you have an injury, unless you have a yellow card, you have a suspension, then you can make a change. But if the team has given you the necessary results, there's no need to adjust it at that point.
All right. Now, in the last 3 games that Zambia has played, they've created 2 penalties, and all of them they have missed. Should the game end in a draw and they go to the penalties, are you comfortable that this team is able to succumb to the pressure and win it for us via the penalties?
I think that one of the lessons a coach or the technical team should have picked is our inability to convert penalties, or finding the best players, or the best 11, the best 5 to take the penalties. And when you're going into a quarterfinal match, it's a knockout stage. If it's a stalemate at full time, you go into extra time, then you go into penalties. You have to train. You have to practice those penalties in training. And I believe that the technical bench has been working on penalties, because that is one of the lessons we should have picked from the 2-3 matches we've played. I expect that they've given themselves enough time to identify who their best penalty taker is, and how the penalties should be taken. There are certain techniques, which you deploy when taking a penalty. If the ball is fast, no matter how, quick the goalkeeper is, the ball will still go in. If those techniques are deployed in training, and, the players have been able to apply themselves to them, we should still be able to emerge victorious. But I want us to put this game to an end in regulation time. It's very critical to win in regulation time, because penalties are a psychological type of game. You have to have a strong mentality to be able to take a penalty, especially in crucial matches like this. So My hope and expectation is that we win this match in regulation time and avoid penalties.
All right, thank you very much. Let's look at the opponent's lineup as well, Marco, because this is also a team that has only conceded one goal, and it was a goal against Morocco, the host.
Morocco. Mhm.
Yeah. Uh, do you think Zambia is going to score as many goals as like they did against our previous opponent, the Togolese?
Um, Well, it might not be a lot of goals, but I think if we can be clinical in our finishing, we should get away with 2 or 3 goals in this game if we can. We are playing nearly the same type of football. If you have observed, I think they've got um, a triangle approach in midfield where they are basing, their play on Diakite. Then they also have, Habasu Diallo and Mama Diop. So if they are going to, lock the midfield, it will be where the match will be won. Depending on our strength in the midfield, and we are able to create space up front, then we should be able to get the necessary result. They are not a pushover. They are a decent side, and they've shown that they can score. They beat Uganda. You remember Uganda didn't give us chance in the friendlies. Now that in the friendly we played in the run up to the Africa Cup. So now that we meet them, they beat Uganda 2-0, they beat Burundi, I think 1-0, and lost to Morocco. They're beatable. That's what we know, that they're beatable. But they're not going to be a pushover. They're a decent side. They've got good players, and they have a strong midfield too, which is also partly our strength.
All right. So in the Zambian team, who do you think is the main player now? Because we don't have the likes of Barbara Banda, one of our top scorers in the country in terms of women's football. She's not in this team. So who do you think should carry the mantle of Barbara Banda?
Well, I think so far Grace has accounted for herself very well as a captain, and she's been leading the team very, very well. She's involved in literally trying to create the chances. She's involved in converting the chances that are created. So I think you need such a player on the pitch. But again, if you look at how the team is playing, I don't think it's all about one player. Um, Mapepa has been very impressive. She's able to approach the opponent's danger zone, without fear, and she's winning those penalties for the team. So if you have a player like Mapepa on the pitch, you have Ochumba on the pitch, you have Grace on the pitch, you have Chitundu on the pitch, you believe that you have a team. You also have Katongo in midfield working very hard. You have Irene, and you have a defense too of Lushomo, Belemo, and Musa. They all have been, doing and playing their part. If you look at their accuracy in terms of passing, if you look at, their coordination, I think they all have been playing as a unit in order to get a result. But ultimately, you have a team captain on the field, and she's done very well in coming or filling the shoes of Barbara.
Uh, are you concerned that our main striker, who is now Ochumba Oseke Luvanji, so far she has played 2 games. I know she was suspended in the first game. She has played 2 games, and so far she has not scored any goal. Are you concerned with that?
When you have your main striker not scoring, of course, it becomes a concern. You want to have your main striker score you, because that is their role. It's to put away the chances that are created. But it's a concern, and you expect and you hope that they will improve along the way. This is her 3rd game, so we definitely expect a little bit more, and we hope she can also score, because that will also help in building a confidence in the tournament. But again, even if she doesn't score, you still have a few other players. You have Grace herself, who scored 2 goals. You've got Avio, who scored a goal. You've got Mapepa, who is able to score. So it's advantageous when you have more players that can score. But again, it becomes a concern if your main striker is not scoring, because that works on individual confidence. And you want to build confidence in your strikers, because they are the ones that, given the responsibility to get you the goals at any given time.
All right. Let me get your prediction, Augustine, for this game.
I'm leaning towards a 3-1 in favor of Zambia. I hope it it goes that way, but I'm leaning towards a 3-1. I am confident that the girls will win and qualify to the World Cup.
All right. Let's just go through the comments, Augustine, before we go, because there are a lot of predictions in the comments, and I just need to take you through so that you understand how people are anxious, waiting for this game.
Oh yes. Yeah, I see a lot of comments. Let's see, where do we start from? The first prediction.
Mwape is saying Zambia 2, Senegal 1.
I see
So
Tobias
it's like
Senga.
it's like everyone is saying we're going to allow a goal.
I mean, you see, it's not that our defense is cast in stone, and we are a team that don't want to concede, but they are also going to come. They're going to bring the ball onto us, and sometimes 90 minutes, you can't run away without conceding. So if they've scored, I think, 3 goals, 2 goals so far and conceded one, I think they've scored 3 and conceded 1. Chances are that they're capable of scoring. But I believe that if they can score, then the most they'll score would be 1 goal.
Peter Kalunga is agreeing with you. He's also going for a 3-1 scoreline.
Yeah, there's Desiree Kadochi who's going for a 4-1. There's Matafwali going for a 2-0. And there's Pethias going for a 2-1. Well, there's Ricky Mwale, who so far is the only one with a 6-1, giving Senegal that result.
Wow. Look at the score and the prediction there.
Yes. I see.
Is it possible? 5-2.
Anything is possible in football. It can happen, anything is possible, and you don't want to rule it out. There's another one there, 4-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Mark, one thing that we've not talked about, Augustine, is that once the girls win this game, they're going to the FIFA World Cup. They're breaking a record. This is history in the making.
I mean, it's huge. It's a huge breakthrough for the girls themselves. Going to the World Cup gives them a huge platform. Some of them are playing in Europe. That also enhances their chances of, securing contracts with, much more improved or advanced teams than where they are. So it'll be significant for their careers. It will be huge for the country. It will be very good for the association too. And I think it's a chance they don't want to drop. And I believe they know what is at stake for them at this point.
Yeah. And it's funny enough, the people that are disqualified for this tournament, they'll be eligible to play when they when they go to the World Cup?
Yeah, of course, they'll be eligible to play because of variation in rules and regulations. CAF has got maybe explicit rules, so to speak, very defined, compared to FIFA, who are yet, to define their rules in the manner CAF has done. But it's I think it'll be good to see the players that have been, disqualified from this tournament make it to the World Cup. Reuben?
Sorry for that. My network had issues with my network here. So, all right. Another comment saying Zambia will win 6-0.
Yes.
That would be interesting, you know. So,
Uh-huh.
who do you expect? Who do you think will be our scorers for today?
Uh, I mean, goals can come from anyone. Goals can come from anyone. But of course, I'm hoping to see Ochumba on target. Um, Mapepa is very good, and I will not be surprised if she scores. I will not be surprised if Grace scores. Again, you've got a surprise scorer like Chitundu, who came in as a substitute the other day um, against Tunisia. She can be on target too, but most likely, if we are to score, it will be um, anyone between Grace or Chumba or Mapepa. Again, it's open. The defenders themselves can score. You see them come up when we are attacking. We have a corner, we have a free kick. Um, Lushomo has got very, very good, set pieces. She can score from a set piece. She can score. So anyone can score in this match, but the responsibility hugely and largely goes to the strikers.
And where is the threat for Senegal? Where should we keep guard in terms of the Senegalese? I know that one of their strengths is that they are tall. These ladies.
Yes, they are tall, and again, you want to keep away from set pieces around the goal area with them. They also have very very good players. I think the Ndiaye striker is good. They also have Diakite as well as Diallo. Those three could be some of the key players in this match. So you want to keep guard, and I believe that our players are equal to the task.
All right, Augustine, we just have to leave now because we need to cross over.
Crossover.
So
Thank you.
yes, we need to cross over to the game. Then we'll come back on the halftime just to give us the first half analysis.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Best wishes to our girls.
All right, thanks.
Uh-huh.
also 17 years. Senegal in full control totally here, dominating the game, trying to surprise yourself to rapid fire. They get Diop to do that for them. And again, she's going to reset it into the box. Israel will deal with it quite well. Zambia down to 10 because Tembo has not been allowed to get back onto the pitch. Not too sure what the problem is there with Tembo. She needs to be strong as well. It's really a disadvantage of Zambia means that they still have to find a way to defend the Lions clearly until Tembo is allowed to come in. She's already set. They booked the first player to UTM. Senegal were hoping that the foul is given to them. SABC is just trying to foul and taking. So another yellow card. Centre back Shomo Reuben is yellow carded alongside Tembo. 2 cards in less than 20 minutes of this game. In the first quarterfinal, wasn't Zambia already having issues and a yellow card.
I think the Zambians will really have to literally watch their back. There's 2 key players in their back 4 on yellow cards, and any touch from the Senegalese, as we've seen how aggressive they've been, just opposing themselves with that front press. They haven't been dropping their lines at all, really forcing the Zambians back and really challenging them to force those errors around the 18-yard box just to really out that just every time they clear the lines, move the ball.
Worrying situation there for Bruce Moapet. Yep. This ball in again to the far post. Now Hizel would have to deal with it. Goes off the crossbar for a goal kick. Again, she's noted for that long balls into the position half. Bianso, when given a chance, she knows how to take these particular set pieces pretty well. That she's been doing that, and so Tembo is back into the game. The Zambians haven't really been able to control affairs. It was away to the Senegalese who are controlling well and always looking for the runs of the centre forwards. Let's talk about the technical switch there by the Senegalese, having 2 holding midfielders in Sanya and Metasek, and obviously getting their Kete, trying to push things up in terms of the attacking play, always sitting deep behind the front 3. Malaboy again. It's been a very tightly contested game in midfield for the Zambia. They've been really struggling there to get the balls away from in the zone.
The only way to really frustrate the Zambians is that you cut off the supply, and at this point in time, the centre backs can't really get much of the ball. The midfielders haven't really had great combination.
Reuben and Diaye, she's only scored a goal here. Hizel in, and she gets away from Yakneti. This time the Zambians really have control. The Katongo here for Zambia, trying to get the team to move forward.
Passes through that midfield. Get through a shot first. Game for the Zambians.
You know, shot that came through the foot. Not seeing much of the work on my paper.
That is where the contact. Look at that forward.
It was Lungu that just went to ground, but again a chance to Chitundu here. She just shot straight into the arms of the goalkeeper. Then
A very rare chance for the Zambians, but once you get a glimpse of it, you see the ability that they have within their style of play of really trying to get good combination passes, exploiting the half spaces in between midfielders and the defenders, and just to really try and move the ball around so that they can create those chances. And I think if they really take much from this move, they'll really try and work their way back into the game.
well, those are very real moment there for the Zambians who have gotten themselves into the penalty box of Senegal and looking to see if they could have scored from this point of view. So it's Lungu who went in with the attempt to put a trigger there, and then she just got clattered there.
Chumba, just the front strikers doing ever so well with the physicality as well to compete and just to really try and steal that ball back. And this is what you want to see, the work rate from the strikers contributing to the chances that are created.
The tackle that obviously did not need the second look there by the VAR. I'm not too sure what the plan would be there from the Moroccan official. So far, there hasn't really been any communication towards that. Well, for the Zambians, it's been a 39-year wait for them to be at the quarterfinals and see if they can make it to World Cup. Women's football started in Zambia as far back as 1983 when they had the opportunity to start it back in 2009. Zambia had 100 women's teams for players over 16 years and 112 youth women's team for players under 16 as well. So they started the journey. Their first attempt at qualifying for the Women's FIFA World Cup started back in 1994 when they were hoping to qualify for the 95 event. So far, it's been Senegal dominating possession there, 52-47. Having pass accuracy though of 67-64, and fouls committed 5 there for Zambia and 2 for Senegal. She took this ball into the box there, and this time an opportunity for Mapepa, and she couldn't quite get to the ball. Then was was able to deal with it. Good player there. And on the chase. The opportunity came for Peppa to play a part in the Zambian side after missing the first game against Cameroon. She did show her abilities, and we did also see how she was able to get things on the way there for the Zambians in subsequent games. Position there by the Senegalese, and the Zambians will be waiting patiently to see what would happen this time after 39 years of fighting to get themselves at the FIFA Women's World Cup. If there's opportunity for them to do so, remember they started back in '94, and it was South Africa that denied them the opportunity. Now they find themselves here. They're counting. A boost ball into the box there for the Senegalese to see if they can they take it. Hazel would finally deal with the situation. Sachitundu picks it up here in midfield, trying to get the team to set the tone, the attempt, the attacking play. She looks for Uchumba. There comes Zambia. Not under any pressure at all. Lungu. Oh, lovely play now. Defense putting ball into the part of Ochundu. Again, Uchumba couldn't quite deal with the situation. So clears only as far as a Zambian player is Sachanda. And this time, Tembo will just viciously hit it wide. We are approaching the half-hour mark already here in Casablanca in the first quarterfinal match between the Copper Queens and Lionesses of the Teranga. Is still goalless. Here comes Mapep. Finds a way to get to Chanda. And again, it's been well defended by Peter Kamara. Zambians currently moving out of their defensive shells and putting some of the pressure there on Senegal because they need to find a way to get affairs where they have any chance of doing that. It's been an exciting way of them starting their play. They're pretty much slow in starting the attack, but when they do get their rhythms right, it can be very dangerous. Again, there's a tackle against Diaye, and the assistant referee flagged it as a throw-in against Senegal, but the referee says is a foul rather. Meantime, the centre-back of Zambia, Shumo, Reuben, is again on the yellow card. Be very careful, the referee next look. Think otherwise.
I think she was just really trying to have a good swing with the ball to clear. But yet again, the clash. And I think the game is just really now a stop-start, breaking the momentum and flow of the game that we were expecting in this first half. But I guess just maybe a means of Zambia just really trying to.
Well, on Monday, you look at the center of the competition and how it's interesting to have already 4 teams qualify for the very first time in the quarterfinals of the tournament here. These two sides, Senegal and Zambia, now interested in what Botswana doing same, and that has been one surprise story in South Africa, isn't it?
No, absolutely. I think what CAF has really done in making sure that even just with the hashtag empowering the game, is to really try and bring all the countries to one level. I think we've seen the domination of Nigerians, Cameroon, South Africa, maybe to put in the mix, Ghana as well. And I think it's really high time that we start gradually spreading out the wings and to developing other nations who probably have never been at this level.
Senegal with the ball into the box now. Having been able to take advantage of the set pieces, and we've only spoken of the set piece. I expect 3 goals leading the goal chat, or the goal queen chat, if you like, there by Ghislaine Chibak of Morocco, and all her goals have come from set pieces. Suat Matali of Uganda also scored from a set piece. Machumba's ball taken away by Sek. So could it be Malabo here? Finds space in the box. Good interception there by Mwepa. And Zambia will have to pick up the pieces together as they try to strike forward here. Quickly, they regroup to win back possession. Meantime, ball sent into the far side for Malabo to deal with the situation there. So they have a way of pressing high the back line of the Zambians and winning back possession. Anytime they lose it, they recover quickly to pick it up. The Senegalese.
No, absolutely, the Senegalese are really doing well, just floating all the balls into that dangerous area. But the Zambians have really stood their ground. They're taking command and leadership from a player like Reuben.
Again, ball lost there by the Zambians. Here comes Peter Sek, was looking for the offensive run there of Malabo. Chuba goes into this particular tackle, she losing it. And this time the decision will go in favor of 12-shirted Sefiatu Sanya. Chitundu. Again, so all the work's done on the far right there. It's just gone wasted. Zambia. Confidence level of the Senegalese pretty much overwhelming. They are quick on the ball. Anytime they search forward, it becomes a bit of a dangerous scenario there for the Zambians. But quickly, they also find a way to win back possession.
In some of the key battles this afternoon for Malado, making sure that she contributes to get the crosses inside the box, but as well as for 11, who I think has really got
No space there for Mapepa to find some magic moment with Chanda, looking to spread to Ochumba. And again, she couldn't quite deal with the situation. Meantime, Senegal do have the player down, and ball recycled again by Tembo. It is Lungu here. Zambia. Lungu chance well. Lungu going, Lungu! And off the defensive line of Senegal. It's an interesting scenario there for Zambia as they're trying to keep possession and trying to hit the balls into the penalty box of Senegal. Meantime, they have to stop playing because Safiatou Sanya needs some attention, and quickly it has to be done. Calling for the player to be well attended to and to be taken off the field there. It's two sides battling things out to see if they have their place. Safiatou plays a club football in front for Borges Club. I'm sure she gets a chance to continue with the play here. They play for Casa Sports, and there's a quality moment there for the Zambians to see if they can have opportunity to score there. And that's Safiatou. A good time there for the fans to enjoy every bit of the moment. They happy as Senegal counting. The team really living the dream. And given the road that she's traveled to get where she is, Sanya had to leave her home region for the capital Senegal in order to live out her passion of playing football. And Safiatou Sanya, being treated, says it was not easy for her to play football, indicating that in Senegal they say that football is for men. For that matter, it wasn't easy with parents and all her entourage, so she had to leave to Dakar and play football. And now here she is, hoping to get a team to the World Cup.
it's a beautiful story that I think a lot of some of these footballers have just been through. And it's always just about dedication and how much you want.
This time straight to Hazel there by the Akate, who's spotting the armbar, and then Temple would have to find a way to see if she can recycle things for the Zambians. Again, a ball into the box, but Lungu again being cut out beautifully, and Senegal would have to get a goal to start things off for them. Chitundu doing so well to win it back. She's being flattened in the midfield, but the referee says play must continue. Here comes Babu. Chanda. Chitundu back to Chanda. Chanda going. Looking for space on the left-hand side. So Mapepa she has been spotted. Mapepa will try to drill in. Mapepa goes in, comes back beautifully. Looks support there for Temple. It's Zambia now with a chance. The player of Senegal is on the turf now, and it's been well cut out. It's going to be a new chase here. Quickly he's being sent back to the goalkeeper to find a way to get Musasi involved. Katongo. Again, the offside trap has been picked again. It is Mapepa. Chanda is in the middle. Mapepa goes into the box. It's So who comes in and excellently, brilliantly finds a way to shoot up the ball. Chanda was just waiting for a pass from Mapepa, and she decided to go solo. A little bit of selfishness there from Mapepa that could have given the Zambians opportunity.
I thought she was just thinking I could just get an extra mile, an extra touch into the box and get the cutback that the captain was waiting for, and unfortunately it just didn't seem to happen. And this is what the Zambians need to do. The quick transition into the opposition's half, but also those crucial passes. I think the decision making by Pepper just let her down there.
Indicated a chance to missed there by Zambia against Togo. Really could have seen them scoring a lot of goals there, but some fluffiness and selfishness on the part of the attacking players allowed the team to score 4 goals. And so, and Chanda going in here, Chanda with that, and Bayang with that defensive clearance there. Bayang on the flag off and offside. We're into the last 5 minutes of the first 45 minutes, and waiting at the time already. 2 players have been booked. Chanda here scored 2 goals against Togo, and she's still fighting on to see if she can lead this team to the World Cup. But Zambians have put aside instructions about the absence of the captain Barbara Banda, and Chanda also doing a part to ensure that at least the team is well focused and well oiled for the World Cup qualification as well.
No, certainly. I think both teams just very tactical in their approach in this first half, of really trying to get out of their blocks, but trying to impose themselves with the chances that the Senegalese have created. I think they've had the better chances in the half, but the Zambians yet again have to compliment their resilience. They were just really forced back, and are now starting to find their way back into the game. Great combination play from the likes of Mapepa and Chanda.
Yeah, physical play, and Ochumov's thinking they fairly won the ball there, but the Moroccan official not otherwise.
It's been such a tough contest. Then just both teams really want to get as much ball possession as they can to really do just turn on the magic that we know them for. But this half has just really been very tactical for both teams to really even get much ball possession.
Referee Buchra Kabobi from Morocco was in charge of Nigeria and South Africa game, the very first game in Group C, and did see the South Africans winning that game against Nigeria, the second match of the tournament. Senegal, Zambia, fairly similar playing identity. We land on attacking Chayo, Mapepa, Chanda, and Chitundu. Of course, Pipade is not playing for the Senegalese, but they do have Diallo and Diaye as well, supported by Diakate for the Senegalese. Any solid defense play there by two sides, seeing them playing here. What an interesting bit about the Zambian coach there, Bruce Mwape, who indicated that there's no time for them to give up. They still have to fight on. Chandra again, she has another bite of the cherry, trying to drill the ball back to the left-hand side to pick up a pair pop, but this time it's being cleared away by Sanya. Oh, it's been given out, and this time in Jai. And she has Malabo in. Malabo has already scored. Malabo, and what a save it is there from Hazel. Quality save there by the Zambian goalkeeper. But the flag again has gone up on offside against Malabo. In the 17 and also 17 years of age. But then again, what the pass was from Ngana Ndiaye. The goalkeeper just came out at the right time to make that save.
Nali just really doing ever so well to save the blushes of the two centre backs who committed some serious mistakes in the heart of defense, both just recovering and losing the ball in a very, very dangerous position. But the goalkeeper does exceptionally well to give cover.
Not needed to do that. Meantime, Chundu. And a save there by Meta Kamara. She's still going to ground, and this is so Chana just can't get to the ball there, but it's been put out there by the left back. Skatongo. Palermo couldn't quite get to the ball here. And Senegal still finding some bit of moment on their left hand side as they try to push forward. Miriam Abu, she was not past fit to play the final game against Morocco, Miriam Babu. And now she gets a chance here at the quarterfinal game. And it's been interesting having losing 8 starters, Senegal, in that final game, and eventually bringing them back in the quarterfinal here against Zambia as the Mapepa looks to find out Chanda. Chanda does well to get back onto the ball. Chitundu is racing down the right hand side and waiting for the ball here. Chanda turns well in midfield. Tembo sends it in. But Sen will deal with the situation quite well there for Senegal. But during the minutes of added time, so Sisi here, the coach for the Lions of Teranga, is excited to have the team play a huge role. Second best to Morocco in Group A. And Senegal did not lose a match in their group. Well, Zambia, they were able to join the first game against Cameroon and obviously picked up a wonderful win against Tunisia. They left it late. Meantime, difficult moment there. Musasi giving the ball away. And it is Malabo here. Too many touches on the ball. Chitundu will pick it up here for Zambia again. They have to lose it to Diakate. And the referee would have to end things here. Invisibility is not victory yet. The battling things in the first quarterfinal match at Casablanca. It's been An entertaining first 45 minutes, I must say. Zambia trying their best there, but Senegal dominating the half there with some good chances.
I'm the 14 March, 11 months. And then he sorry.
Healing azandifumana esontweni kodwa ndikwazile ukuyifumana apha.
You got to learn how to stand up for yourself. You got to learn how to almost stand up for your space.
Life happens and you need to be able to take the bull by its horns.
I'm the great tragic actress. I want to make people cry and feel better.
Sundays.
All right, thank you very much for joining us here at Ubuntu channel, and we sincerely apologize. We started the game a bit late and the picture quality wasn't well in the first about 15 minutes or so, but now the picture quality is okay. I think you're enjoying the game, and thank you for joining us and being part of the Ubuntu family. This is Ubuntu Sports, and we're broadcasting the game between Zambia and Senegal. I want to interact with you once again. Please tell us how the first half has been so far, and also don't forget that I've got Augustine on the sidelines here. Augustine, how has been the first half for you so far?
I mean, very, very interesting first half so far. We had, a couple of chances. We threatened the Senegalese. I think we only probably had one sure, chance at goal by Chitundu Avio, and he was saved by the goalkeeper. But Senegal has been a lot more dominant, especially in the first part of the first half. They've had more clear chances. I think kudos to the goalkeeper. She's put away at least two threats, which could have resulted in a goal. Been an interesting game, quite tough, and the Senegalese are giving us a lot of work, in especially on our right wing back. I think there's Marie Buba. She's quite tough, running around that area. So we should up our game in the second half. We need to push for a goal. We need to fight a lot more stronger, and we need to show a lot more cohesion in order for us to get a goal. At least we need to get a goal in the second half.
All right. Now, Augustine, we've got Zambia has received 2 yellow cards, and one of the recipients is Martha Tembo, and the other one is Lushomo Mwemba, one of our defenders. Do you think this should worry us, being that Lushomo is one of the last woman standing in our defense?
Definitely, that's a concern. I don't think the challenge by Martha Tembo deserved a yellow card. I think the referee could have been a lot more lenient on that one. I didn't expect it to be a yellow card. It was a fair challenge. But when two of your defenders, are on a yellow card, then you have to be a little bit more cautious. I hope that doesn't demoralize them, and I hope that doesn't, make them, reduce the tempo of how they're going to approach the Senegalese, because this is a highly competitive match. So, and you can tell it's pretty fast. There's a lot of pace in it, and chances of it being physical are very high. So I just hope that we maintain and don't get a red card as a result of the second bookable offense from those two instances.
Yeah, sure. But how stable is Hazel Nali, our goalkeeper? She's done so brilliantly so far, and in this game, she looks as if Senegal has no chance of scoring.
I mean, so far so good. They've had at least 2 good chances that she's been able to come up, and show she's up to the challenge. She's a very stable goalkeeper. She's got lots of experience, and you can tell from her positioning. I think she's able to know when to come out and when not to come out, and I think she can read the game pretty well from what I see. And that's one of the strengths of the goalkeeper, because you have to see at what point you have to come out, at what point you have to skip your line, so that you don't lose track, because any misjudgment as a goalkeeper, you leave it open, they can easily capitalize on that one.
All right. Again, are you worried, Ochumba Oseki? That's she's our striker, but in the first half, so there's nowhere to be seen.
Not so worried. I mean, there hasn't been a very clear-cut chance for her. Of course, you can see her involved. She's fighting. She wants a goal, but no clear-cut chance so far created. And the Senegalese are marking them. Their marking is very tight. You can see how Mapepa has been marked. She's not having as much space, to penetrate them. So you find that if she can't create chances, if Grace can't create chances, then there'll be no way for Ochumba to score. But I think she's been involved. She's fighting. Any moment from now, she might get a goal. We could get a result in this match.
All right. Again, the Senegalese are threatening, especially on the right side where Belem is, because she likes overlapping. I don't know, how can we diffuse that threat from the Senegalese?
I think she obviously, during this moment, and this is where you see the coach's tactics at play. It is important to advise her not to, overlap as much as she may do it. But if she has to overlap, in her recovery should be quick. If she can manage to recover quickly, that would be very good, because they are exploiting that area, and you see that Bupa is quite fast on that flank. She too is an overlapping, left back, and soon as she overlaps, then we are, short in numbers at the back. We need to keep that area very, very tight, so that we don't allow at least any, of them using it or exploiting it to create chances for their strikers.
All right, thank you very much to our viewers. I've seen Stanley Mwanza is asking for the link. I will share the link just after the game, so that you can come in and then you share the full-time analysis and be able to join Augustine, as he's joining us all the way from America. Augustine, I don't know how we are supporting the team in America, because I don't know if they're understanding the Zambian tunes, the Zambian songs there as we're cheering the Copper Queens.
Well, I mean, I'm Zambia at heart, so I move with the team and any of our teams wherever I go. And I mean, they may not understand, but wherever you are, you have to make do with what you can for your teams.
All right, let's just go through the comments, shall we? My director, if you can just go through the comments. I can see a comment from Elijah Patrick saying he's saying the game so far so good, and then Humphrey saying Humphrey Chileshe saying Zambia displaying better quality football so far. Is that the better quality that you want to see, Augustine?
I think they've stood their ground. I expect a little bit more, but I'm quite impressive with how they've stood their ground. I mean, you can see how in midfield Susan is also playing. I mean, very, very firm. Everin is also very good. I mean, they're winning a lot of balls. They may not have been, they don't have the same stature, the same build as the Senegalese, but they're very good on the ball, very strong, and at least they're able to contain that space. As soon as they contain that space, then we now need to move forward and create the chances, so that either Grace, or Chumba, or any of the players up front can score.
The comment from Aaron Sakala is saying the midfield must improve. Zambia, we are winning. Do you think the midfield is not okay? Should we improve?
Offensively, in the midfield, we haven't created as many chances, and I think I'll agree with Aaron if he says the midfield must improve so we can create chances. Defensively, the midfield has been doing fairly good. I think they are helping the defense. If you've seen that Agnes and Lushomo are a little bit exposed, but because of a strengthened defensive midfield, I think they've got enough cover. They've got good cover that is helping them, contain that pressure. But now we need to find an offensive midfielder that is going to work with grace to create the chances for Ochumba. Especially that if Mapepa has been outmarked, you need to help her create those chances, and that's what you need to do at this point.
All right, Sambo is watching us via YouTube, and he's saying, I don't know if it's a she or he, but it's from Sambo. The comment is, the referee was not supposed to produce a yellow card on Tembo's challenge. She may disadvantage the Zambian players. Do you agree with Sambo?
Definitely. I mean, I agree, and I think that was my point. That to me was not a yellow card. And when you do that in a match as competitive, as this one, then you're disadvantaging the other side. I think she should have maybe blown for a foul, but not a yellow card.
All right. Let me just check through another comment. Someone is saying, this is Peter Chiwe saying, these men are at the back, okay, not the ladies. Why are the referees against Zambia? Are the referees biased in this game, Augustine?
I mean, to me, bias would be, a very strong term, but she hasn't been, competent enough, to hold the game together. You'll find that there's been a little bit too many whistles, stoppages and, infringement. You find that the player is down, she's not stopping the game when it's supposed to stop. She's blowing the whistle anyhow to some extent. And against Zambia, I think Zambia has conceded more fouls in this match than Senegal, and you begin to wonder what is happening. I don't think she's exposed extreme bias, but that gives you an indication that we should be careful because the referee is not playing the game as it's supposed to.
All right, Harriet Vene Luyando is saying we should play the ball more on the ground. Senegalese are very tall. Do you agree
Fair
with
point.
Harriet?
Fair point. And we obviously can't match them when it comes to aerial balls. They have the height advantage. We have to play our game, and our game is not normally aerial balls. We play it on the surface, and the passing ball is what will get us to our destination, which is the goal.
Yeah, sure. Let me take two more before we go back into the second half. Philemon Lungu is saying the game is very tight. Let them maintain the same spirit. Zambia is winning this game. Your comment?
Very likely. I mean, a win is likely in this game. The game, yes, is very tight. That's why I'm saying we need to open up. We need to create chances. We need, somebody who can create chances and open the Senegalese, back four. In that way, we should be able to score. And, as soon as we get the ball in the box, we're tight enough and clinical, we should be able to get a goal.
Yeah, sure. Let me pick one more. Okay, most of them. Someone is talking about Barbara Banda. Is saying if we had Barbara Banda, maybe this time Zambia would have been winning. But let's go for Wilray Zulu. Zambia playing good, but they need to utilize the opportunities. Otherwise, it will cost them. Senegal have strength than some of our players.
I think the most important thing is for Zambia to create those chances. We haven't created as many chances for us to be able to score. Senegal has had, a few more chances than we've had. So key in this game is for us to create the chances so that we can put them away.
All right, preparing for the second half now, Augustine. Are you going to stick with your prediction of 3-1, or at this stage you want to change?
let me. It's very tight to get a 3-1, but let me keep it at that for now. It's very tight, but let me keep it at that. We can just have a floodgate of goals. 45 minutes is a long time in football.
Yeah, but any chances of going to the extra time?
If it goes the way it goes, chances are that we might go to the extra time. But let's see what the 45 minutes will give us.
All right, see you after the game. The second half has just started. We're crossing over back to the game. See you.
Thank you, Reuben. Bye-bye.
With the possibility of 2 more countries qualifying for the playoff. Senegalese coach declared that no speech can motivate more than the stakes of this match and plays the last 4. Obviously, the competition is all that the team has been waiting for, and this generation can be a pioneer in Senegal and may change the course of history of women's football in the country. And so it's a historic moment there for these players who are here competing and hoping for a place at the Women's World Cup.
Certainly a major achievement for the Senegalese, and I always just say that someone has to do it so everyone can see that there is a possibility of it happening. And I think this is a generation of Senegalese players who have really taken the onus upon themselves to develop the women's game in their country. And of course, just really trying to attract more of the international moves, which could really add to the growth of the game.
Chanda here for Zambia. I'm sure they're going to support Lungu. Chitundu. Katongo. It's a corner kick there for the Zambians for the Copper Queens. So indicating to official that she was the last person to touch the ball, but decision already gone in favour of the Copper Queens. Chumba was a little bit foul, that's just outside the penalty box. There we are. Taking a shot there. Chanda sets it in, but again, it's a very poor one. It's there by Sen. Dembele. Here, driving the team forward. Giant. Play here for Minjai and Guena. Spread it to the left hand side and trying to get Malabu. Afisa too. Diallo as well. Play here for Senegal, looking to unlock the defense line over the Zambians. Again, they've been struggling to get the ball away from the dangerous areas.
Dear captain there just being caught with pushing the ball a bit too much instead of just laying it off and get those combination plays. But 1-2 on the edge of the box could have set right through a one-on-one with the goalkeeper.
Chumba here, looking for a beautiful run by the captain. Yeah, defensive lines are well cleared, but the Zambians will try and push and pass some pressure here, trying to win it back.
The Zambians will have to be a bit more persistent. They are the ones who have really searched the line of confrontation just to put a bit more pressure on the Senegalese back four.
Quality play here. Tongo. Nearly setting the pace there. Chumba. It's Kamara's header here. Lovely. Kitundu here. And Zambia can see they have a goal. Two players clutching on each other. There's been too many touches in the box. I wonder how that happened when two players of the Zambian team, two players of the same club, the same team were just going in there. And Lungu looks to get the card there from the Moroccan officials. 3 yellow cards to Zambia already. And Diop felt the extension of the arm there from Lungu. And the referee from Morocco to show what the decision will be from her. So she gets the card out already. At the first half, we did see two players of Zambia get a yellow card. There's a left back and of course the centre back as well. Still has the card that hasn't flashed in yet. I'm not too sure who's the culprit here. And she goes back. The Moroccan official. Well, so Lungu is eventually yellow carded. So that means 3 players of Zambia being cautioned there by the Moroccan official. So this is the action.
Possibility of mistaken identity?
Absolutely. It's just not Lungu there. I think that the yellow card runner should have gone to Chitundu. But Lungu gets the yellow card when she's obviously not the culprit of that occasion. Wow. Maybe Vera could just look at it again and decide that she's not the culprit there. Either as it may, so the goalkeeper is back on her feet there. So we're still at goalless in this game. Yellow card to Lungu, but it appears if there's any card that should be going out, I think it's the Chitundu rather. It's a foot-high tackle there on that occasion. Maybe VAR just have a look at it again and deciding the right person has to be penalized for that occasion. So a lot of legs thrown into the 18-yard box already, and we did see foot-high tackle early on, and I'm sure it's been confirmed. Maybe I'm not too sure again what the decision is there from the VAR checkpoints. Magic Pinnick there is here from Nigeria. So a lot of our support there for the Super Falcons, who are equally also in the game. And so the referee's back with the yellow card. And told you what, it's going to be a change of mind in this game. So VAR says, no, it is not. We did indicate that. And it is going to be Chitundu in the 21 shirts who gets the yellow card.
Rightfully so. This time around, I guess VAR really coming through to make sure that it just clarifies things, and this is what we appreciate. Players not to be wrongfully cautioned, but yet again, we have to eradicate the dangerous play in our game.
Yeah. Balemu to shoot the ball away for advantage to the Zambians. Always getting the box back, the Zambians, and Bitasek here controlling midfield again for the side. You're seeing the Senegalese keeping possession pretty neat and simple as they move forward. Dembele here losing possession, and it's going to be the Lioness of Teranga. Sen comes out of his line to see if she can save the situation there for Senegal. She does. Gets the ball out. Good thinking there from the goalkeeper.
Good thinking there from the goalkeeper, just managing to get first to the ball. And maybe the Senegalese will have to reconsider that highlight of their defense, especially because the Zambians seem to be searching for and looking for those pockets of spaces behind them.
And Chandler here. It's wide. She gets a goal here. She gets 3 goals in the competition. One player has so far scored with a chance laid beautifully there by Chumba. Chanda shows beautifully here for the Zambians as they search for it again. Sent in, bring the play here to again. The foul comes out against Chitundu. They also talked about the Senegalese midfielder, Safiatou Sanya. Talks about their versatility in competitions or in games. She's controlling things this evening here for the Senegalese as well. In club football in France, and talks about versatility and how she can play anywhere on the pitch. Some human qualities also making her captain for the side.
She's shown great stability in that part of the midfield, just allowing a player like Diakate to form part of the attacking third or maybe attacking four. And she's just really controlling, making sure that she breaks down play and gets those crucial passes.
Well, the flag is already up here. We've seen situations where already the yellow card has gone out against the centre back. Shumo should be careful. She's already on a yellow card. And I can't Diop indicating to the referee that that's it. Look at the fence. And this is it.
But did she really touch her? Did she really get contact? I don't think so.
Talk about the intention of a tackle there. Was Senegal clumsy on occasion? If she didn't, find a way to just dodge the tackle, she could have been found there by the centre back. But in the meantime, it wasn't a touch on the board there, or perhaps there was no contact, like. That's the reason the referee did not give a card on that occasion. Good chance there for Senegal to see if they can and hook this ball into the box. And guess who's going to take that one? Mayak So. She's also been given the opportunity to hit the set pieces there for the Lions of Teranga. Now opportunity once again, well presented ball in a very dangerous position for the Senegalese to see if they can Shot that ball into the far post for a goal here. We've seen one talent there from Uganda do so in a similar position. They had a chance against the Moroccans in Dubai, and it is Bayang So into the far post. It has happened! Iguana Ndiaye's second goal of the day and the 49th goal of the tournament has been given. It is Senegal with the first goal in this game, and certainly they can afford to celebrate.
They certainly indeed can afford to finally celebrate. And this is what you want to see from the Senegalese, just really making sure that they use their aerial advantage with their height to connect with those set pieces. Well taken, floated ball into the 89th, but unmarked yet again. GI goes in the score sheet. 8.
History written everywhere in the car for these ladies. There's something spectacular about them. There's something amazing about them. And look at Ndiaye. She's got that eagle eye to pop from somewhere, and then obviously you can see the celebration that comes from her. She knows what that is the importance of the goal there for Senegal. But I tell you what, any time goals are put in or anytime the Senegalese always go for Bayang So. She knows how to take it. And her second goal of the day for the tournament. And well, Ndiaye. And her goal means we've scored 49 goals in 19 games so far this year's competition.
And this goal has really just set the seeds alight. Now the Senegalese surge forward.
Again, they try this time trying to loop the ball over the goalkeeper. There's a lovely piece of work there from Yakati.
Long ball just floated in the 18-yard box. Reuben just really tries to clear lines, but Malaga just putting in the necessary pressure. Diakate just wanted to tuck it in and pushing it into the back of the net, but on this occasion, she just goes really wide.
It's a good goal there for Ndiaye. Guena. She was indeed missed by the side after she was news of having COVID-19 in the final group game against Morocco. Now she's been able to come out from a fortunate situation to find herself scoring the first goal. Senegal here, Chitundu into the wall. Chanda in the box, goes to ground, looking for the decision from the referee. She looks on, she hasn't really given it out yet. Quick response there from Zambia. Diop again. We talk about the play there from Diop. She's always racing back to defensive back to play the ball. So just look at the attacking play where she's on the second. Really got the left hand side and Senegal top ends back and now trying to give it nice and simple.
I think if it is that they want to now display the passage of passing, do it with a bit of intensity to get out of tight situations, not to slow the game down, because they slowly fighting the position back.
Palermo again, as far as a second. Yeah, Diop. Historic moment there for Senegal in this competition. The very first time they've qualified to the quarterfinals of the competition and chasing first qualification to the Women's World Cup as well.
Indeed, a historic moment just there for the Senegalese, who I think have really displayed some great football throughout the tournament ever since they started, especially competing in a group with the host, and I think they've done exceptionally well to be where they are. The game is not over just yet, and 1-0 score margin is always a very dangerous score.
everything into the game. Chanda here, Chumba, try and communicate to see what they can do. So they seem to have the confidence back in their tenacity to see they can have more of those trickeries and give them the opportunity as they try to search forward. Meantime, Zambia just kicking the ball most of no man's land. They've really been able to regroup and then keep the ball for themselves and see they can have their very best football approach. Senegal trying to put themselves in a very awkward position to do again. That's the direction player in terms of playing the pass to Chanda. Turn. Level. Puts it back. Good quality pass now to Palermo. One space and so comes in. Get a lot of applause there from the fans. Senegal anytime to make any move there. So if Tom will come into foul. Senegal would like to make a change. It's going to be a game over there for 70-year-old Satu Diallo. And there's Party. So coming to replace Party also with the start of the game. Party again against Morocco. And it's also going to make way for the six shirt. Joe, yeah, starting against Morocco. Bringing the players to seek to have a way out, and so looking to suffocate the midfield and not allow the Zambia to come in. And so Abade is also in terms of the role that she has to play in the heart of midfield together with Yang. So who sticks out the attacking player and brings out the midfield every time. It's going to be a yellow card here to Captain Zambia to Sanya.
The captain just dangerously lunging into that tackle. Just making sure that she tries to impose a physicality, which it again just gets a good chunk of that Achilles.
What a decision there by the Senegalese coach. Cisse is that he's going to block most of the balls in midfield, and so he's going to play with a switching player to the fullback. One so Ligan Guy just as alone striker up front there, because then you're going to have a job switching it deep into midfield, because now it is Sek out, Malado also out, which means that Joe Yang will also stay in the heart of midfield together with Diakate. So the midfield is going to be that compact there for Senegal, and so it's going to be one person out there, because anytime the opposite dispatch shows ready to move in, that's Zambia. Oh, what job! That is the classic goal! Could you believe this? Chitundu gets a score, and what an howler! No pressure, and Sen just dropped the ball.
Literally dropped the ball, and in any moment where there's a sub, in any moment where there's a foul, you always have to make sure that you are staying concentrated. The well floated ball into that 18-yard box. The goalkeeper, easy catch for her, but she drops this one. Of course, who else? But Chitundu, she didn't get there, sneak in with a close header into goal.
Tell you what, the plus for watch there, because this is just unbelievable. No pressure on the goalkeeper. She just had it all covered. The centre backs knew that the goalkeeper said is okay with it. Game on here. We have the game. Zambia 1, Senegal 1. What a time together, Glasgow. We're just talking about how the Senegalese coach is switching play from the 4-5-1 and how he wants to play compact in midfield and just leaving there just up front and then bam, Glasgow to 2-0 there for Zambia.
The approach is to really try and cement the 1-0 previous 1-0 score, but of course, I think you always have to play. There's just so much more time to play for. The Zambians just made something out of nothing, just making sure that they just give themselves a lifeline. And yet again, life lessons of football will humble you.
Well, I hope that it doesn't really get into the goalkeeper for her to commit a lot of mistakes sometimes. Keepers are not able to get out of this defensive or perhaps it is howlers, and he stays with them and goes, gets in.
Players constantly have to stay switched on in the half. And you just really try and avoid those little elements of complacency until you actually get to the 90 minutes.
Safia Sanya has also been taken up for Janet Sanya. In case you know, they are not related. It's 1-0 here, and this is a quarter-final game indeed for the women's African Cup of Nations. Zambia now back in dominating possession with 50% of that to 49, and now beautifully here, the Zambians now trying to contain things in midfield. And here comes 14 Shetted Bloom. Zambia also trying to take the game back to the Senegalese, giving possession. Ochumba and Bianco gets it up, an extension of the arm there from Bianco makes there's going to be a foul there for the Zambians. Of course, the referee that explaining that to Bianco.
Just an extension of the hand there. First, it seemed like she really intercepted very well, but it was just a trailing hand that into the face. The referee was close enough to spot that there was a foul.
At one point, it was the Senegalese fans who were just thunderous here. Now the Zambian fans are taking over. Until the final 17 minutes of a game here, to see which of these two sides will go through. Yet another ball straight to the goalkeeper. Out, and this time it's going to be a corner kick now. It appears that Mwape knows and she understands the goalkeeper unable to get into long balls at once, so she has to find a way to get into it. It's a bit disappointing there if you look at how Sen was able to allow the ball to just skip from her arm there. So she had shot the ball away from almost everybody, and unfortunately that ball goes in. Tutu was able to find it. Senegal players are back to the defensive line. You see they can't defend this well because they understand the pressure now. So there from Zambia. Pepper's ball to the far post, and this time it's going to come in. And Temba was looking to hit that one wide there, but of course it's going to be another corner kick. With that effort. This team made Africa proud at the Olympic Games in Japan, and now they want to qualify for the World Cup with a corner kick taken to swing into the midfield line. Into the 18-yard box. It comes back to Chandler again. Sets the ball to Balemu. Balemu here, the right back. Oh, lovely play here. Balemu into the box. And Bianco again with that final touch on the ball. Lovely work there from Balemu.
When they talk about dynamic comes in small packages, The Zambians have been really gifted with two incredible fullbacks on one side, Tempo on the side of the right. Belemu, very short in stature, quick speed, great reaction, but also great anticipation when they have or when they are called to make those crucial interceptions. But here again, they show moments of their attacking abilities and making sure they search.
Now they have a chance to go and see if they can get a second goal. But a good save. Lovely save from 10. And again, it was a moment Chanda thought the team could have gone ahead to get the second and put the game to bed. That was not the case.
How did Mampepa miss this one? It was 2v1, but just the goalkeeper to beat. But I guess the goalkeeper just does really well to make herself a bit big, extend that leg. So, kick, height and distance to clear lines. Chanda just lurking there to make sure she maybe possibly utilizes in the second.
Pepper simply could have done better. Chance there for the team to have gone ahead and see if the game was going to be wrapped up for them and make it to the World Cup as well. It appears Zambia's is already the Senegalese are feeling the heat there from the Zambians already.
An exchange of blows in the second half where two teams just really want to go all out, making sure that they wrap up this game in the 90 minutes that has been allocated, and just the momentum now really favoring the Zambians, who have really just made sure that they keep the pressure to make the scores even.
It's anybody's game now. It's 1-1 here, Casablanca. Senegal taking the lead, and that's happening that Sen just dropping the ball in a very awkward manner and then allowing Tundu just to nick home that header there to go equalizing goal. And this is the story in Casablanca. Ndiaye is the target now. Chanda here for Chumba. Pepper. So to pick the ball here. Yeah, to deal with the situation here, drift the ball back. Then Chanda was just with it too. And the ball just overheaded the captain's head. Now it appears that the Zambians are taking full control of the game and now pushing the ball straight into the half of Senegal. They are in control now. Tempo. Play there from centre back, giving away Buena to patch on that one, and position once again in favour of Queen. So seem to be in total control now after getting equalizing goals. Zambia at the point. Now they have foot on the accelerator. They dropped a little bit. Switch to the first gear. Zambia now move to the third. I'm seriously not excited about the decisions there by the referee, and she's having a word there with the assistant, trying to get the team to be a little bit focused in terms of what they want to achieve today. It is anybody's game now. It's 1-0. This is how he started with his long balls into the box. Senegal comes out this time again, couldn't quite deal with the situation. And Pepper was hoping to deal with that. Tell you what I'm seeing here. The back line, the two centre backs, these two sides have mastered the craft of hitting the ball straight in under this set piece. Reuben is doing the same for Zambia, and they are so doing it for Senegal. They always want to hit the ball long into the penalty box.
Remember, just being very intentional in trying to locate big physical striker up front, so Chumba, who does really well to protect the ball, and then the likes of Chando really come through Lungu to play off the second ball off of her. She's showed great physical strength in Senegalese box.
Here comes Chando, turns well. Trying to hit this one. What you do see now, last 10 minutes left in the game, let's head into the exciting moments. Zambia does fancy a long range out because they understand the goalkeeper finds it difficult dealing with those balls. Here comes Mian So's ball, and she's always looking for Ingena. Reuben. And Chanda is out, ball taken off, and it's in! It's an own goal!
Chanda was just really slow to get back into like that onside position. She couldn't really beat this one, and she was miles away offside. I think then the lesson here is to make sure that immediately an attack is over, try and get back onside. Yet again, the Senegalese centre-backs, centre-back pairing we spoke about, they just seem to be miscommunicating, misunderstanding each other, including the goalkeeper.
Especially will be Chanda into the play. Well, what we did. She did find herself in offside position though, but she kept back time before the ball was headed back into Senegalese goal post. The referee will have to take a look at the decision. Maybe there will be some bit of communication there as to whether that is the right call. It will be a huge one if it does. Please agree. Then again, it is a bit of a nervy moment there for these players, and I did indicate to you early on in the game that it is the mind and the heart that will determine victory tonight.
Absolutely, this is what it has been, especially in the second half. The Zambians came out very concentrated. Senegalese thought they were in control.
So this is it. Also, it is taken as an offside there by the Zambian captain. She found herself in a very unfamiliar territory, and so this will not be given. So we're still at 1-1. It's a game for everybody. And you can also talk about the speed of Chanda and trying to pressure the centre back, which is couldn't quite see the run of the goalkeeper there. Didn't really also see the captain was just behind her. I think the Senegalese conceded there. They've been a little bit nervous at the back. Those are set into the penalty box. They are not able to go deal with it in time, allowing the Zambians to just a little bit of a patch there. Abibade coming into the game and hasn't really contributed enough for the attacking play of the Senegalese. At least you see here a little bit into the half of the Copper Queens. Both teams acknowledge the defensive lines. We're talking about the experience picked up there by the Zambians in the competition. Senegal would say that they also came to the competition with the humility to learn. Have a young team and they can get something out of it. Tongo and Lungu have been controlling and in detecting the pace and the outer midfield there for Zambia. picking the second balls there for the Zambians as well. Allowing the referee goes to ground. Interesting. Second slip there is through here. Will be allowed there by Musasi. Chanda would have to fight things off here with Reuben. Roll off the line again. Get to the last 5 minutes of the game there. Zambia yet to make a change. Senegal already have. Trying to get the balls into the back line of the defense of Senegal. That's the Zambian strategy in the game here. Jakati. Senegal want to calm things down. They've been under some bit of pressure there. And Bayern shows ball again, and Gwen Ndiaye is the target there. There's a little bit of a clash just outside the box. He sees that as a fair tackle. The Zambians search forward again, looking for a second quick intervention by Dembele. Ball cleared out again, back into the line of the Zambians. Another ball in, Chanda goes in, bit into it. Chichungu is going in, and the referee spotting a very illegal tackle there on Chanda. And for a foul there against the Lioness of Terenga.
Just yet again, we see the number of fouls that are being committed in the game, which the referee has just really been trying to be in the middle of all these duels.
Reuben referee really has been very assertive in the game. She's pretty much impartial on the occasion, making sure that everybody does understand the situation on the ground. Yeah, so really in pain. So again, we go for extra time. So it's anybody's game here in Casablanca. Senegal wants to wrap it up. Zambia equally wants to wrap things up.
A true testament to what we've seen in this game this evening. Just two teams really have to go at each other. Just very minimal to separate the two. For the Zambians, their style of play was to really come out, both of them, get the combination play going, get the crosses to the likeness of Chanda inside the box, but that they put themselves instead of being easy to get coming through with their ball.
The half of the Senegalese hits it wide again. The threat at all to send and waiting for other time. It's been competition. Applying in the case, if you look at the two teams' first appearance at the quarterfinal stages, just making sure that they work pretty hard for themselves. It's a very good position to see if they have the moment to get a ticket for the Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. To show that they comfortably, or perhaps they want to find themselves in that repechage period of going through that qualification. Everybody's effort there goes wide again. Tempo. Tip 1, 3 minutes about the time. Game there for quarterfinal matches, a date that have been well planned and managed by the two teams. Senegal coming out after the impressive performance in the group stages together with the Zambians as well, to start things up and push their players up front. We talked about the physical nature of the tackles that will be coming in from flying from left and right. So losing some quality players as well, the competition early on. So there's going to be this clattering moment there between the Senegalese players and that of the Zambian star. So we get forward to see what just come up with. So it's going to be a long way out this time, just a very unproductive effort.
After a while, the leg has been tired. Because it's just that long range of trying to go for that long ball. But sometimes just really try and go out to the left or the right to get someone else to recycle the ball in, just so that you reserve mostly that energy to chase the next one. And you're always just working in its moments.
We've had 19 games so far in this tournament and 50 goals have been scored. 2 goals here. It was Ndiaye who got the 49th goal of the tournament, and Chitundu scored the 50th goal of the tournament. As we approach the extra time period in Casablanca, it's going to be a need for any of the teams to score, which is hoping that they have been a little bit slow the approach, taking themselves off the legs of the accelerator, allowing the game to flow at their own level. So as we're here in Casablanca, waiting the final whistle there for the Moroccan official to signal the end of the 90 minutes of action, and then awaiting the extra time. Still the two sides still fighting to see who will be able to have the nerve to score yet to go here. Senegal trying to get things calmly at the back. Bayern shows long balls into the half of Zambia. Uchumba tries one. Tundu, Chanda gets it down to 11 this time. It's been dealt with there by the Senegalese. And so that's the story there. Anybody's game now. Zambia 1, Senegal 1. It all started with Senegal's lovely set piece delivered into the far post there by Bayang. Not a home beautifully there by Nguena Ndiaye, and then a howler there from the goalkeeper Sen, allowing Aberge Tundu to score. And so at the end of the 90 minutes here in Casablanca, Zambia 1, Senegal 1. Energy sapping game for both coaches, been struggling to find out exactly what will be the middle ground for them to see what they can. No changes there by the Zambians. They kept creating their starting lineup. Senegal making quite some changes there. And again, this is Chanda and his teammates who still held them to 1-1 game in the 90 minutes. There's the extra time that will determine what happens and which of these sides will make an historic appearance in the quarterfinal stages will definitely get a chance to see if they can qualify to the Women's World Cup.
At this stage of the game, it's always just about the grit that fights, and when the legs start packing up and giving up, it'll be interesting to see if the Zambian coach will make any changes at all, because you do need, a few sets of fresh legs just to really go the extra mile as well. But on the Senegalese side as well, they have been doing so much more running in these closing stages of the game, and it's just going to be so interesting to see actually who finishes off the best.
Well, there's a time the coaches try as much as possible to have the moment working on the legs of the players. You've been there before. How does it work if you find yourself in this situation?
I think in your opening you did say it's about the mind and the heart.
Yeah.
But also you have that physical element, which is the legs. You always really want to pace yourself, but when you find yourself in extra time, it's all or nothing. You just really have to give your best. Sometimes very difficult to stay within the tactical message of the coaches, because you just want the game to be over and you want to win so desperately. But it will be important for both teams to be really tactically disciplined, because there will be areas where there'll be so many turnovers because everyone is rushing the ball, but it's just a matter of maximizing the opportunities.
It'll be the first time we get into the quarterfinal stages, having your first game, and Reuben is the one who's going to cutting aside extra time. Remember, it was Petty and of course Sanya who did the job there. Nach and now to see if this team can have a way out. Pretty much, they talked about how humble they are. They find themselves at this particular stage, and then he was amazed and brilliant. Remember.
I didn't promise you. It's just something in my mind that just made me so fearful of taking penalties, and this is where you just need great leaders to come to the fore. It could be your team captain, it could be a leader who just is quite vocal in the team, and this is where really, you have to hold the nerve to make sure that you can win these penalties.
You know, the technique of always scoring from the headers were just one of your best moments there. And the tempo of competition, the first goal scored through a header, lovely ball delivered there by Anga. So, yet again, the second goal was scored through a header.
I've been absolutely in awe, just really complimenting how the women's game has really developed. That we are at that stage where we realize the importance of maximizing the set pieces, because they are indeed 50% of the chance. And we've had some amazing set pieces that have been converted into goals. And like you say, in this match, the set pieces actually came into play in a tightly contested match, as this one open play sometimes will defeat the purpose where goals are concerned, but maximize on those set pieces.
While ago, you did see top officials from Senegal, the Senegalese president here watching the game, trying to encourage the team to see if they can be able to win this game. Just a single in the stanza. And was what the motivation is there for the team. Lionesses of Terenga. Meantime, we're waiting patiently to see if we can't get this second half on the way by the team, the Copa Friends, who have not made a change in this game. They've got the energy to continue in the next 30 minutes or so as we head on to see which of the teams will be able to make it out. Senegal, Zambia fight. Could go either way. In time, the Senegalese were trying to start the attack left-hand side. We're having to see the opposite lurking around. Spademo has done well. The fullbacks of Zambia really have had to do an overtime to stop the attacking play. They did try until the set piece was meant to come in the point. Now it is Ugana Diaye here. Scrambled away by the flag, really, not the flag decision against Ugana Diaye. 2 goals for her in this competition. was Pepper, who was just cut the defensive line or so. So on attacking, no defending game there by the two teams. DC Diop also attacking and defend as well. Mapep also doing the same there for the Zambians.
Yep. This stage in time, we need everybody to be behind the ball. We need everyone to be chasing, because you have to work as a unit.
It's an interesting story seeing Hezonali instructing Musashi to get the ball back into attacking lines and not to get the ball back to her again. Williams charging forward now, trying to see if she can have a little bit of a space out of steam. Again, Musashi would have to come out and shut things out for Zambia. Here comes Lungu. And Tongo, back to Lungu here. Going back. Pepper was a target. She couldn't deal with it. Pepper is given a chance, and again, not any pressure. She also would lose possession. Sometimes your legs can carry you at a certain point. And I'm wondering why Bruce Rapi's not made a change so far and not bringing on fresh limbs in the game. They should trust their generals on the pitch currently. After the group stages, most of the teams just went straight into action by going out there for training sessions and overworking themselves and ensuring that at least they are able to hold their own when they get a chance in the competition. So the energy would have to be used wisely. Happy Balde here for Senegal. Twisting and Janet goes to ground, referee gets their decision in favor of Senegal. Tongo not happy at all.
Pepper there just caught some trouble yet again. She is on the yellow. So if it is that she is on the yellow, she has to really treat carefully. The Zambians just making sure that they are really trying to double team the Senegalese to make sure that they have no space at all.
What does happening? The ball as well on the side, on the other side of the goal post. It was Myang So who did find some space on the far post and hit the ball until Ndiaye was able to connect for the first goal. And again, this time she was also looking for the run of Ndiaye.
That is definitely one from the training grounds. If it is that So is the element, you know that she's certainly looking for Ndiaye.
Really, the only thing is that this time Ndiaye was fumbling, and so she couldn't quite get sorted feet out to deal with the situation. Zambia again keeping the ball away in very dangerous areas. Senegal using their physicality to bully their way through. Chumba. The Pepper. Chanda was looking to have a little bit of a dummy there. And red in the back line of Senegal. Myang So again, always looking to get the long balls forward. Lungu here. Stembo. Back to Lungu. Wepa. Chanda. Skew the effort. Gio. 10-12 for Senegal. Also couldn't find a way out, and so both teams managing the situation and trying to save some bit of energy. So we want to work things out beautifully and see what happens. Wind speed 15 kilometers per hour, and ETS 60% this evening here in Casablanca. Chanda and Ochumba combining well. Ochumba using her energy to bulldoze her way through. So she was caught illegally there, so the referee should have whistled for an infringement there, but she didn't.
Ouch. That looks really, really painful. Big physical striker there, Ochumba, just managing it again on the toes. So, that is really sore.
Teams with similar approach to games now meeting here to see what they can offer each other at the extra time period. Chanda just looking for the round of Mapepa. Then she comes with control things and feel that find space to tempo here. Just looking for Chanda again. She's able to get to Chanda, ball off the line, but just the referee eventually gives it out. 4-3 for the Zambians. Mapepa, Uchumba, Chitundu have stayed on. There'll be a lot of questions as to whether Bruce has stayed true to the lineup and seeing the need for any change in terms of ideas as to who comes in to see if they can oil other places. He's got some quality players on the bench as well. Maybe give it a chance to play a part. Dorian Susala on the bench as well. Suzy Chisa Zulu also on the bench. Could we give it a bite here? The coach decided that there's a need for change of strategy or tactics in this game. And Pepper was need to change this one, but Sen is in to come and clear the lines. And Chanda looking to go right. She's able to turn. And again, there is just not anybody there to see if they can give any incisive pass to. The referee sees another tackle there on the Diakete. He has again stand over Zambia, and Bruce Mwape is not happy at all with the situation here.
There've just been too many turnovers that really result into those clashes in midfield or on the park. I think if it is that both teams can just really move the ball a lot quicker, just to avoid that physical contact, it's quite unnecessary.
Yeah, Shaw was always looking for half bound in there, and Timber with that defensive head out. Advantage still to the Lionesses of Terrain. She's been pretty much busy as a fullback there, hasn't she?
She has been indeed with some crucial interceptions, great anticipation of the ball, and in certain moments giving a good pass into midfield, overlapping when she's called to. And I think she's just really given so much of her balance in the back four.
Got to play there by Ochumba, and Mapepa looking to run with the speed. Mapepa into the box. Again, Mapepa. But you have to lose Ochumba, gets it back again for Zambia.
Again, just really hanging on to the ball longer than necessary. And it's almost as if once you win it, just get it out front of teammates, rotate the position. I think the Zambians do really well, but I guess sometimes those individual sort of abilities need to surface when decision making is concerned.
Good control there by Grenadier Diaye. Lovely here. Grenadier Diaye. It's a better over. Level, but it's a decision once again against Zambia. Assistant ref. Gets it. She wants to run deep into the box, but Pepper. Can she bring it back to the post? It's been collected there by Sen. Direct and straight to the goalkeeper near post.
Pepper seeing much of a full possession this first session of this extra time, and she's really using the speed to really try and creep into the 18-yard box, just hoping to get a good cross or a cut back to Chanda, who's always just there in the 18-yard box, but just never really connected to the pass.
Tempo here for Senegal, and Chimbo's looking to pick up a Pepper. Yakate. The controls coming through from Lugu, and Katongo is being working out the system. It's going to be a decision for Zambia, but the referee overrules that, and it goes against some conflicts in decisions sometimes, which is how the two officials did see the action here.
Again, Mapepa just threading on thin ice with that kind of challenge. And I mean, at this stage of the game, it's always just tired legs that are hoping to get an interception. It always just seems to be foul.
Fast approaching the end of the first half of extra time. Nabi Bardi, 12. She's got tempo to deal with. The interception there by the back line of Zambia Sports, whipped into the half of the Senegalese. Again, it's a fall in there. Referee says no, they must continue. It's not given. Eventually, it's given.
Yep, it has to be just tired legs. Again, trying to just caught on the late reaction. Just throwing a foul, just a clash of the feet there. But yet again, it's just a matter of really holding it. Try and force your opposition or your opponent to the line, get it out to touch, and avoid the unnecessary contact.
Tundu. Conflict there with the Senegalese right back, and this is Chanda. Shows well again, looking for space. Gets the support she's looking for. Chitundu controls well. And Chanda has been blocked. Referee now sees nothing again. Yakate. Cassine, Buren Babu, and the first half of extra time here in Casablanca. Still anybody's game. Zambia 1, Senegal 1. And we've seen a very quiet first half of the extra time. And Chitundu would have to make way for the Ankara Gucci player, Suzy Zulu, who's been given a chance now to come in and speak about her. And she is one player you expect to change the dynamics of the game there for the Zambians. Finally, she gets a chance to come in. Is in the Turkish Women's Super League, the club Ankara Gucci Sport. kind of clap back. She went to Kazakhstan back in 2019. The chances there and opportunities, and this is the goal.
This is the goal that contributed towards it. And I think as she takes off the park, she'll be really proud of her efforts and just a contribution, making sure that she gets the equalizer for the team.
Zulu was a member of the Zambian side, the captain the side as well. She was part of the 2014 African Women Championship. Zulu really had some appearances and scored 2 goals there for Karaguchi Sport, though. Just talking about the next 15 minutes. Very crucial one, isn't it?
Very crucial one indeed for both teams. And if it is that they don't create open chances in this last 15 minutes, then you know where we're headed.
This is where you don't want to be. This is where you don't want to be. The players, you need to have a hand for that. And I've always said, and I keep saying that when they get to the penalty shootout, it is where heroes are made and valiants are remembered. And I can give you a plethora of names who really have been remembered because they've made 1 or 2 opportunities on that stage, on the world stage as well.
Yeah, I think you'd remember very well. Do you want me to remind you?
I don't want you to go there. Absolutely do not want you to go there. No, 12 years ago. And here we are. It's still the 2 sides who really are making history in the country. It is Senegal and Zambia again. It's an open letter, open opportunity, open ticket for them to find a place and a seat at the Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. They try to locate any opportunities that will be given to them as they move in. Mapepa here charging, and Mapepa losing and losing that opportunity. Again, I think the problem with Mapepa is she's so direct and she doesn't really have the opportunity to look around and see who is in an empty space for me to just get the balls to. She just runs deep into positions and she's just losing possession.
Not only that, it makes it much more difficult if it is that wherever you're running, you're facing down. Please just have a quick browse of your area and your surroundings so that you know who you're running into, which spaces you're running into, which other teammates are around you to lay off the ball and get into space, because she's very quick. I think combination play will definitely suit her if it is that she could just lift her head just a bit to assess her surroundings.
Diop. Level. If I control well. Senegal will have Diop trying to get a serve into the area. Mama Diop also plays a club football in France. She's got a lot of energy in her. She's always at the attacking areas, and sometimes you see her defensively helping out things. And that makes her very versatile as well. Because you know that anytime there's some bit of trouble there for Senegal, Mama Diop is always going to be there to sort things out.
Balanced contribution for the midfield. And not only does she then drop back to assist in defense, but it's also quite intricate when it comes to the creative engine in that midfield to really try and make sure that she gets those passes up to the eye.
Lovely piece of work there. You're seeing the works there by Katongo.
Of which I'd love to really compliment. I think that double and Lungu in that central midfield really stabilized things for the Zambians.
Katongo. Olemu's ball forward. Kamara header out. Throw into the Zambians, and the lady who's giving them that bit of hope and believe they can make it, Chitundu. Ochumba. Chanda. Again, poor control from Chanda. Taking the chances in very good areas there, the Zambians. Again, it's not been able to manufacture anything out of it.
Really, and especially not in this situation again. Jack did just got offside. You're right, man. They look at that touch just on the side of the foot. They do really well with those combination play and those triangles. But it's just a matter of just holding that line and make sure that you're not offside.
Mama Diop here for Senegal as she tries to stride forward. It's Mama Diop again. Goes to ground. Referee says no, there's not going to be any foul on that. Chandler Concho as well for Zambia. Zulu. Spreading play to the middle third, looking for a bit of space. An opportunity hasn't really been dealt with well. And I was about to roll over Katongo. Going to get it back into the half of Apademo, the right back. Cleared. This tempo. Ochuma. Chandler goes in, ball taken away from her. Apep. And Tembo goes with the right foot. Come on, yeah, so trying not to clear the lines. It's been about that. Saving some of the energy there, Mike. So the assist for the first goal for Senegal. Meantime, Senegal would want to throw yet another player. Cogafall is going to give the chance to come here. Started against Morocco, Cogafall. Did score against Burkina Faso. 84th minute. Then Wayne that obviously saw them here. And Cogafall would have to come and replace Kante. Changed, so Gwena Ndiaye got the first goal for the side. Gwena Ndiaye, she is going out 27 years with appearance, 8 goals for Senegal. She's done it part as a team.
She has indeed the work rate as well, just making sure she's always connected with the midfielders. Also a major contribution in getting the score sheet.
Tongo. That's going to be the position because Senegal's six-shirted. Joe Yang. This is where the long balls are sent into the box there, but again, it's very wasted effort there from Zambia. So they are still holding on and waiting the third appearance or third meeting by the two sides, and this is how it's going. They have to play a part in this competition and show their powers here. Third meeting of Zambia and Senegal at the Women's African Cup of Nations, and this is a stage where good sides have a chance of making something and being a little bit excited about the way they have played in the competition. This is where the boss would have to boss the midfield, and Diakate is doing that.
Diakate has certainly been pulling the strings there for the Senegalese. She has the ability of really getting out of tight positions or tight areas. She always looks to recycle the ball and just really rotate it from one side to the other.
Times where you did see Mandela supporting things in midfield there for South Africa, but the spaces and always get into intricate areas, and the players are really much excited about it. When you see players doing the same, you're excited about it again, and so this is Diakate, and obviously getting the ball deep into the far side, and it's got the 4 controls into the half of Zambia. Mama Diop. Mama Diop lifts the ball up here, and Senegal do have a chance. Cogafall looking to hit this one. But again, it has to be a timely and a defensive executed clearance from Temple. That would have been pretty much game over for Senegal. Look at how she came in. Oh, she did this one. Even when she was going down, she needed to just get the second one out.
She makes sure that she has nothing set except for eyes on the ball. Great interception. She reads the game ever so well. She provides great cover for the back four.
Good cover there, Tembo. She's been doing almost everything right. On a yellow card from the 7th minute, but she's kept on. And Martha Tembo, Queen Buffalo's player, she's absolutely a great centre back, left back for the side. Sometimes when given a chance as centre back, she can also play well. Tembo. In 2018, she was part of the team, played 3 games for the Zambia. Tembo. Strong, intelligent. Very dangerous ball there. Zambia would have been punished if she was not there to intervene.
And that's why I'm just still singing her praises. She has been very consistent throughout the match, just really providing the necessary cover, using her speed to advantage it again.
Zambia now down to 10 because Tembo is just treated and would have to get a chance to be enrolled in the game here. She picked up an injury early on in the first half. Was treated and ball in. Zell caps out again. She's losing the ball, but Chumba, the chance. Everybody going to hold on to play. Advantage to the Senegalese. Comes Babu here. Goga 4 tries a line from that range. Session against these not excited about it. Here, Mama jump in the box. No, looks to hit this one right, but again collected well. Good opportunity there for the Senegalese to see if they can score again. Mama Duke with a good chance was looking to hit this one pretty hard enough, but the ball was covered there by Ali Hazel. Now chance space there for Zambia. Kande. Here go the Zambians. Chanda in the box. Too many legs on her. And Mapepa drives it back. Recycled well. Sent in! Oh, good save there by Hassan. When the opportunities were presented, Ochuma was trying to hit this one. She did well. Again, excellent save there by Hassan.
Great composure there from the big striker, just shading off one of the defenders to make sure that she allows herself, gives her enough space, gets a good sort of chunk of the ball, the speed as well, the power behind the ball, and the goalkeeper equal to the task.
Equal to the task. Going to put herself in the awkward position. She's down again. She picks up an injury, probably a shoulder injury, as she tries to palm the ball out for a corner kick. Really, Howler there got the goal for the Zambians, the Senegalese goalkeeper. She's being the #1 goalkeeper for the side until the Howler there. Safest pair of hands for the Lionesses of Terenga. Tineng Sen, 22 years. She's a club football for Gun Yobi the Park. She's got his teacher there. She's a goalkeeper for the side, hasn't she? Corner kick advantage. We approach the end of the time period. Zambia also will try as much as possible to find a way. Introducing Nora to Salah. And corner kick in there, up the crossbar, and Sen will deal with it. Good chance for the Zambians, really. They had wanted to leave it that late in this game. And Sen will deal with the situation. Diakate finds space on the right-hand side. The belly is fouled. And still the fight is on. Anybody's game at this moment. And it is change. That would mean that the big lady up front there for the Zambians would have to make way. So, Noria to Salah. Played the first AFCON back in 2014 and was a member of the tournament that she will never forget. Changed the way she thought about the football. She also believed that football was going to change her destiny for good. A good chance now, team. And again, he has to take so to save the situation. He was able to grab that one. Flag stays down. And it's going to be a huge fight here. There goes to ground. And Noria's saw that goes to ground. Again, the referee had seen something else. And this is Noria's charge forward. She suffered injury after injury after injury. As well as the Tokyo 2020 last year, among others. Noria Salah. This time she was seeing a way to see if she can score. The referee did see an injury within a minute by the time in the extra time here. Zambians have fought the Senegalese equally challenged them to a big fight. Very fair appearance this side in the quarterfinals. History is about to be made by either Zambia or Senegal. And this time, it would be the Moroccan official who end everything. And now these two teams would have to now decide how do they cross that bridge. And the bridge is to separate each other through the penalty shootout. Which of these two sides does have the tenacity, the mind, the spirit, and the mindset again to see if they can get things done. Changes have been made, but of course, Cover 4 scored against Burkina Faso. She's got a chance maybe to lead the side here. Sen would also have to find a way to save some of the balls there. It is Zelnani there for Zambia, who might also try to get the team back in. Something has to give this time. I tell you what, it was a moment like this in the COSAPA competition for the Chipolo Polos who got themselves into the semi-finals through a penalty shootout. But then, this is like destiny. The ladies are also going through the same fate to see themselves in the semi-finals. The men got themselves into the semi-finals through a win in the penalty shootout. And now, it is Copa Queens also the same scenario.
Familiar scenario, familiar position yet again for the Zambians, and you can only just hope with experience that it does really sort of give you the upper hand when you find yourself in that situation, that you are able to do what you normally do. But it's quite simple. I know a lot of people who say you never like to take penalties, but you say it's simple. It's just a matter of picking a spot, but you have to know where the honey is at. That's always the riskier areas, and that is just way above, just on the corners of the goal, you're guaranteed to score. But if it doesn't go in, it goes over.
Still going to be a long night out there for these players. Tell you what, the Copper Bullet put their place. It's a 5-4 win against Botswana. It was 1-1 in the COSAFA game. And eventually they had to find a way to rally back through the penalty shootout. 5-4 it was there for the side. And and the Copper Queens. Yeah. Bullets qualified to present the Coppers and Queens to make history if they can. To shoot out here against Senegal. This is where the heart is in the mouth now. And this is the period you get to see players and coaches looking to give up their best. The five would have to come out clear. Tough time there for both sides. But I tell you what, Senegal really have the tenacity to do it because they did same against Mali to find themselves in this place. So they have the strength to say they can qualify to the same point. So they got qualified 6-0 against Liberia. And also got a chance to qualify. They beating Mali as well. They won 3-2 on penalties against Mali to put their place here. So at least when it comes to the shootouts, the Senegalese would say that prior to qualifying here, they had some moment there. Decide who's going to take first. Chanda and So Green deciding who has the street strength to go deal with the situation. Chanda would have to set the tone there for the Copper Queens, and she comes up against then Sen. Sure, there's a little bit of silence there in Lusaka for this one. I'm sure they'll be hoping they get the same support there from the men. We're going to do that against Botswana. So the ladies will be given a chance to see what they can do here. History better than us. This is the time for Zambia and Senegal to see what they can give Africa. One of them will be making history. The very first in the quarterfinals, the very first in the Women's World Cup. It's between Zambia and Senegal. Before that is done, you always will find a way to see how the players are able to project and prepare. This is great time for the players to see what they can do to support their goalkeepers. Tell you what, Manda does not want to see what's going on in the field. Your heart's in your mouth at the moment.
Nerve-wracking moments.
Chanda's got the heart. She wants to start off things for Zambia. She was inspired against Togo. Grace Chanda. So anybody to lead the way and set the tone. It is Grace Chanda who would want to do that for the side. 25 years. And Grace Chanda wants to make sure that the history that has to be set, she needs to be part of it. In 2018, Women's WAFCON, she was there in Ghana. And Chanda this time wants to make sure that that is going to be a moment. And she is coming out with Chanda. Chanda makes it one. Simply perfect.
Perfect from the captain. Up that converts that one very quickly.
Start there for Zambia. Sometimes the captains are allowed to take it late. And she decided to do it now. Leads up enough confidence over there for the team. Excited. They know, they believe the captain would be able to convert and give them the hope. Now they'll be hoping that Nali would also start over and give them the needed motivation. The lady will convert it against Burkina Faso. Brother for she's also playing 3-1. The ball. Oh, she misses. Oh, the ball misses. And that means that's a huge blow there for Senegal. This time it's well seen there. And Senegal missing the first kick here. Zambia would have to take this one and make it sure that at least they get an opportunity. It is Zulu. For trying as much as possible to see what they can do. Zulu up against Zulu. She makes it two. Simple execution. Lead now in a shootout against Senegal. 2 out of 2. Senegal hoping at least they can. Nali, see if she can stop this one there from Mama Diop. From Mama Diop. Playing a part and seeing what she can do there for the side. So what? Smarty decided to bring on his charges, those who can't convert for him, and his Mama Diop here. Mama Diop, and she just converts beautifully again. And Senegal will definitely have the respite and believe that they can get it done.
Yes, it's very confidently. Goalkeeper just moving up to Zulu and doesn't really get to end that one. Lifeline for the Senegalese.
For them. Nothing times get to this stage. It's all about believing the support that you need. This time, it's Lungu. Oh, beautiful from Lungu. Competing so amazingly. The Copper Queens, they're doing it exquisitely. Look at that. Oh, nicely done, Lungu.
Nicely done. And just in that hot spot, that area where you know it makes it very difficult for the goalkeepers to get there.
Wow. Tenant saying really been trying their best there, but I think the Zambians are just kicking it so well, dispatching it beautifully. And Senegal, Yakati just can't believe what's happening. They had a great moment there. Tell you what, this is going to be history. History time. And Happy Bardi will also get a chance here. She comes up here against Nali Bardi, and she also converts. Excellently there for Senegal.
Well, they're just looking where the goalkeeper was going and sends it the opposite way. And I think the goalkeeper just really indicated from the onset, just giving us so much room on the far end. She says, thank you.
She knows that this moment there for them, so they can have a space. This time it's going to be the big lady at the back, Shomo. Wepa, who's got a chance to make it 4 here, if she can. Wepa here, and she saves! Lifeline once again to Senegal, and a huge moment. And once again, excitement galore there for the Senegalese fans. They're happy, finally. Sen has been able to save.
Senna this time really going the right way, pulling out a brilliant save to really just bring the team back into this contest.
We are in for a huge conflict here, huge one, between Zambia and Senegal. Quality at stake here, two teams showing their prowess. Tell you what, it's down to the goalkeepers to see what they can do today. They're doing amazingly. The Senegalese fans are really giving up yet. Jakate is the one to see if she can beat Giselle Nali in post. So this is it. Jakate, and she's been saved. Nali saves Jakate, and this time Zambia will feel they have the power to see if they can. It's down to the final takers.
Nali does exceptionally well to stay on the line, to make sure that she pulls a great save.
Guess what's going to happen now? She decides to take this one on. And she has the confidence. And it is Giselle Nali. She saves one. Can she score one? She saves one. And she scores! And this time the storyline has changed. 4-2 it is. And history has been made. Oh, could you believe this? The Copper Bullets got to the semi-finals in the Kosafa game, and now the Copper Queens have made history. The very first quarterfinals of the Women's WAFCON, and now have booked a place in the very first Women's World Cup in New Zealand and Australia. What a story there for Zambia.
What a story for Nali, who does great to save.
Augustine, I don't know which song you'll be dancing to, but the girls have made it, and the hero tonight is Hazel Nali, the goalkeeper.
Amazing. Beautiful stuff. So proud of these girls. No, I mean, you give it up to them. They've tried their best. They've done it.
Yeah.
A
quick one, Augustine. In the second half, the Senegal defender actually pushed in a header into in her own net. Zambia celebrated. They thought this is now a winning goal, but we saw the goal being chopped off by the VAR.
It didn't look like an offside. I mean, that was a clear goal. I don't know why VAR ruled that offside. I saw no reason. It was a goal in my view, and sadly, such crucial matches you can easily lose with such poor officiating. But fortunately, the girls held their own. They fought hard and went up to penalties. We were scared for them on penalties because, they haven't taken their penalties very well in regulation time during the last two matches. We were all on our edges, but look at what they've done. Beautiful stuff, and we congratulate them. Job well done. It's a first. They are going to the World Cup in New Zealand and Australia. We are proud of what they've done. This is what we know Zambia is and what Zambia should be when it comes to football. We are a powerhouse, and we should be counted among the best.
All right. Lushomo missed the penalty, but she's the player of the match. Do you agree with the selection?
Player of the match is selected, during regulation time. By the 80th minute, you should have already had a player of the match. I think she stood very well in defense. She played extremely well. You could tell from the body language that, that penalty might be missed, could be missed, and, she missed it. Fortunately, Nali came back and, put the game back into play by saving that penalty, and she scored the winner. So I think the defense played pretty well. They kept the Senegalese away, except for the opener that they scored. But I think she deserves it. Yes, I'll give it to her. Even if she missed the penalty, I'll still give it to
her. All right. So we can confirm that these ladies will be getting $300,000 each. And also CAF will receive $250,000 for Zambia qualifying to the semifinals. Your comment, Augustine, and your last words. What next for the team?
I think they'll be getting $3,000 each for the win, if I'm not mistaken. Then the association will get a little over $200,000 if for 250,000 for qualifying to the semifinal. So it's a game changer for the girls. I see 5 of these girls going into Europe, playing for big teams. Going to the World Cup is a big statement. They've given themselves a huge lifeline for their careers. Congratulations to them. I believe that we need to keep this team together. We need to ensure that this team goes to the World Cup, not to participate, but to compete, because we've got a team that is capable of, doing wonders on the world stage. So kudos to them. Most likely, if South Africa wins against Tunisia tonight, they meet South Africa in the semi-final. South Africa is one of the best performing teams in this competition. So we have to look out for that. They could surprise us. We have to root for them to get to the final.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Augustine, joining us live from the United States of America. And this has been a special edition of Ubuntu Sports. See you next time into the semis, both for the ladies and the Zambia national team in South Africa. Good night, and watch
best wishes.
Meet your leaders.
Thank you.